icing. It was supposed to snow and we were all excited for snow. And now it's icing. And the docks are slippery as they're slippery. So as you can clearly see, it did start snowing, and we decided to go to a friend's house for the night because the county was closing the bridges and we didn't want to get stuck on the boat for a prolonged period of time if the bridge is closed and we lost power. This is the first time that Arya had the opportunity to play in snow, which is her natural element and what she was bred for. So it was fun to get to see her play as the snow slowly piled up higher and higher.
The first time all together in the snow, it was like powdery here.
That night we of course continued our boat work by making heavy-duty power cables for our new lithium house bank. The wires are 4/0 cable, and we were crimping ends on them, but we didn't have a professional crimping tool at the time, so we made do with a PEX crimping tool for plumbing, and it actually worked really well. The next day we went back to the boat to assess the damage and start digging ourselves out. And the snowfall was actually quite impressive for the area, considering that we were in deep South Carolina. The locals said this is the most snow that they had seen their entire lives of living there. Wow. Dinghy's full. Look, we got snowdrifts.
Wow.
There's all ice here, you see it?
Yeah.
Look at the stairs. There's no... Okay. I guess we need a snow shovel on our boat. We just need to make steps. Berms of snow here. It's like the sun's melting it here. Can't see any of our hatches. Our crash lockers are... Trampoline is completely covered. This is crazy. The snow here. Winter wonderland, that's for sure. You can see here that there's warm air escaping from the boat there. The hatches are completely frozen. The shrouds. Okay, today we were supposed to work on battery stuff, and we still might, but we had a change of agenda. Last night we lost power at like 4 AM or something, and sure enough it was a night where it was dipping down into the 20s outside. And we didn't get up to fix it until this morning, and after a little troubleshooting found out that our shore power into boat completely melted down. When I say melted down, melted all the way through on the hot line. Down here is this, so this was oriented like that. This is the smoke from it, and this is all the melted plastic. Fortunately, this thing is still fine. It's just the plug. So we went to West Marine, got a new plug, got a new shore power cable too, because the shore power cable was part of this melted mess. The existing shore power cable's terminals are dead, done. So we're cleaning it up now because this smells like electrical fire. It smells terrible. So we're cleaning it up now with lacquer thinner. We didn't know if the lacquer thinner would eat the plastic here, but it looks like it's the correct kind of plastic. And it's not above freezing outside. It's cold out here. I've read, and this probably just wasn't done, but we need to, every year you should take apart your shore power plug, just some screws, it's not a big deal. Take it apart, clean it, make sure it's not corroded. If it is corroded, you can take these wires out, cut the corroded bit off, restrip them, and put them in anew. Otherwise, what happens is over time, they'll get more and more and more corrosion, which will slowly increase the resistance going through there. It basically makes a little heater, and you can get where the heat creates more resistance, and the more resistance creates more heat, and blah, 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 blah. This was actually a pretty good case turnout. This can be really bad. We just made the connections from the wires that were coming out of the boat into here. They just twist crimpy style. So aside from the actual plug outside, another victim in all of this was our shore power cord. We're thinking we're going to be able to fix the shore power cord we have by putting new terminals on it, but we're not going to be able to do that today, and we need power because it's below freezing outside. You'd probably get them cheaper online, but this was from West Marine and this was 120 bucks. New shore power line. This is the shore power that went into the boat, the old one. As you can tell, no bueno. What we're gonna do though is we'll chop this off and put new terminals on it so we can have a second cord. Alright, so a lot of you guys wanted to see if I had any plans about the refit, and yes, of course I have plans. As part of that, I taught myself how to do some 3D modeling and 3D modeled our boat, and I'll show you a little bit of that 3D modeling here. What I did is I took the schematics from the Lagoon manual and put them in here as guidelines, as you can see. So then this is the schematics laid over top of the 3D model, and once we break here you can see the 3D model of the Lagoon 410 that I made. So if we go to the top view, this is the easiest way to see structural design changes I'm going to make from a layout point of view. Alright, so here you can see a top-down view. The left side is how the boat was, which was a 2 berths, 1 forward, 1 aft, and then 2 heads. You can see here with little toilets. I've depicted all of the bulkheads that were there. These were what I was mainly concerned about modifying because I didn't want to damage the structural integrity of the boat. But when I compared against the layout of the actual owner's version as depicted by Lagoon, we see that the main point of difference was that there is no bulkhead here in the middle between the toilet rooms, and that the bulkhead for the V-berth has the bulk of its hole this way, whereas the owner's version has its hole as a doorway instead of a crawl space for a V-berth. Other than that, there was no significant bulkhead changes to be made, and because the owner's version's Lagoons 410s already come this way, I was confident that I could make this change and tear out this wall right here because it didn't exist on the existing owner's version's Lagoons, and I've looked at the schematics well enough to know that there's no other hidden bulkheads. So from a top, this is one permutation of a galley layout that we are considering, where we square out the seating and then build a little jut out here for the galley. This would be fridges and oven. If we look right here, this is the galley and salon area as came in our, well, not exactly our boat, because before we had our boat, this was I modeled after an S2 version where the sink was on this side, but you can see the seating area here is mostly the same. So the first thing we did was we tore out this center section here for seating. We knew that would open the area up nicely for us. Then we have designed a couple different configurations for the layout. Inside, we'll do a quick fly through, which is one of the reasons why I actually went through the trouble setting this up. This is the boat as with the top back on. Let's zoom inside. Boat right here. Take a gander at the helm station. Walk down inside. Take a look at how it feels with this particular layout with the squared out seating. A coffee table that would fold out into also an eating table. Removal of the nav station. Maybe we put our armrest here. We're still deciding. We're also considering wrapping around the seating like this and having a wraparound sink area. This is similar to the design of the Admiral catamarans. And you could then walk inside your U-galley and do things here. Entrance into the owner's suite right here. And I forgot to turn the walls on. Let me turn the walls on real quick. I didn't go through the trouble of finishing all of these surfaces so that they'd render properly, but you get an idea here. So this is the bed. I didn't render the bed, the engine bay that's underneath it. When we walk forward, this is having toilet room, and then forward, this would be our shower area and sink area. So yes, it's a crude rendering, but it is a 3D rendering of our boat, and it allows us to play with layout options and different interior configurations without going through the pain of doing full refits. Alright, so what we have here is a photo that I took of the forward shower area before we've done any construction to it. I put it into this app on the iPad, and I drew different layers on top of it. So first layer here This is more for a general gist rather than figuring out measurements of things. Paint the walls white, kind of get us a blank slate here. Design the shower in the back to have a holder for the shampoos and soaps and whatnot. Faucet in the middle. The shower pan is something we iterated upon, but we knew we wanted it to maximize the space that we had available. We also know we want to put a transparent acrylic door on, so we can mock that up to see what it looks like, and then build countertops inside of the room to get a feel for if we can put storage on both sides, which we do think we can. And then fixtures, so a mirror on one side, some overhead storage, plugs. Lastly, from there, I can start to figure out exactly how I'm going to cut these pieces of wood and the infrastructure. So, in the highlighting here, I know I'm going to have to put floor stringers in to go from side to side. There's going to be a shower sump that lives under the floor. Hatches for opening, on and on and on. We're actually looking through the bulkhead, so if we throw the bulkhead up, this is the doorway that you'd be looking into. But we think this will be a nice bathroom for us with plenty of storage and room to move around. Be in the video, are ya? Come here. Before we end the video, just a couple real quick updates. We once again have shirts for sale. There'll be a link below. We're trying this site that some other channels have used and it seems to work real well. So we have some shirts for sale below. Check them out. Your support would be greatly appreciated. What's she doing? She's hugging the water. She's using the water as a pillow.
We also added something new to Patreon where you could track us because we got a Garmin InReach, so Patreons get that extra perk. We're trying to catch up on videos right now. I know it's been really slow. We've been really busy. We have time now to work on videos.
Stay tuned for more of the refit because it gets more and more interesting the further it goes.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.